welcome to the Roast Mortem Podcast, the only podcast that's being recorded the day before Martin Luther King Day. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing good. I'm Travis. My name is Titties Out Travis.
Oh. Titties Out Travis.
Yeah.
I am Titties in Cody.
And I'm Mike.
Where are your titties at, Mike?
Yeah, where are your titties?
I'm self-conscious, guys. I have pancake tits.
When you say pancake tits, are the breasts pancake size, or are we just talking like the areola? Because we taught you that word.
My areolas are very wide.
So your titties IHOP, Mike.
I would say so.
Cool.
How's your areola only wide? Is it not also tall? Do you just have oval?
I used to be a fat
oval
boy.
areolas.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Mike was. What was your favorite restaurant called? Pudgy's Chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah,
Is that real? I don't know.
Yeah, that's real.
McDonald's was good.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Mike, I feel you, because one of my favorite sandwiches as a kid, it's not around anymore, Big Boy.
The Big Boy? What's that?
It was at Burger Haven.
Burger
Local
Haven?
Huntington restaurant.
Yeah.
Big Boy with cheese.
Damn.
For the Big Boy.
Why did they go out of business?
Not enough big boys. Like me.
I remember that place so fondly because I never went there. And I always wanted it, but my mother would never bring me to a place like that. She respected me too much to the point where there was no fun.
I think your areolas would probably be larger like Mike and
Yeah.
us if you went there.
Whatever. Maybe I don't want your areolas, Mike. Maybe I'm fine with mine.
Hey, to each his own.
All right, describe them real quick before we start our episode on. We're doing. We're finally doing the episode about Benjamin Button, right?
Yeah. This is Benjamin
I have
Button
that
week.
disease.
Describe your areolas and
You already threw out pancake.
lots of detail.
Like tannish color and actually like tannish red. What are like nipples colored usually?
Pink.
Pinkish red.
Okay.
I think there's a crayon in the Crayola box that says nipple.
Yeah.
Really?
And the sexual
Yeah.
Crayolas.
Yes.
Well,
I have
Semen
nipple color.
is the white one.
And
When I went to a Volkswagen festival in my youth, I met a man who had no nipple.
what?
It seems as though he mutilated himself and then cut it off.
You don't cut nipples off, you sand them.
I think he was selling air fresheners for a living. So that brought me to the table.
Oh, you fell for it, I see.
Of course. Who doesn't want that?
How is everyone's nipple full week?
I got nothing.
So
I mean, to the term nippleful, I have nothing.
Oh,
Shit
come
happened during
on.
my week.
There's nipples all around you, dude. You just have to imagine everyone with their nipples out. Like I do.
I'm suddenly very uncomfortable.
It's how you're able to get up in front of three other men and talk. You have to imagine us with our nipples out.
Yep.
Mike, wait, what did you do this week?
Oh, I saw a dead dude.
Wow.
That's a strong start. Okay, we can go down
right.
this. Yeah, let's pursue this.
Do you poke it with a stick?
Did you
No,
kickflip over him?
A rubbernecking. It like really snowed pretty bad yesterday, and I guess the guy was going too fast on Sunrise Highway. You know, like kind of out by Massachusetts, all like trees.
No,
stuff
I don't
like that.
go to that area.
Once you go out into that area, it turns kind of into like the woods. So all I saw was like people like helping him, but you just see like the car door open. The guy looked like he had like something pierced his chest like through the tree, some shit.
Wow.
It looked pretty
You
gross.
need your chest.
Do you think Pierce Brosnan was inside of him?
Maybe.
He's always piercing chests.
Yeah, don't do
That was
that.
sad, yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
So drive very slow when it's snowing out.
I like good PSA, Mike. Way to
good job.
turn that wholesome and constructive. Good segue from your nipples.
Yeah.
Dead guy. Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, buddy. This week I ordered a lot of food from a restaurant.
Hey.
I called it in, and I said, hey, I'm going to pick it up. And I gave them the order, and the woman said, okay, 15 minutes. And I said, okay. I put on a stopwatch, and I said, I'm going to wait 15 minutes before I go down. And right as I was leaving, I looked at the phone number I had dialed, and it was the restaurant's other location that was 50 miles away.
I've done that.
So my $75 food order was just sitting there, and I went back downstairs and drank myself into a coma and then reordered the food from the local place.
Wow.
That's I do feel really bad about doing that. I'm not
Very
going to name the restaurant
forward-thinking.
because they will murder me if they find out it was me.
You can give them like an apology plug.
Give them a 5-star rating on Yelp, Tom.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I gave them the rating. They got the rating.
Right.
I tipped very well when I went to the right place, and I did call them and clarified that I had messed up, and I hope they can reuse my order in some fashion. To which the woman said no.
That is already in the garbage.
Yeah, and that was just yesterday. The rest of my week was working with my new job, which I also will not tell you where I work, but I got to say it's awesome. And doing this podcast, I never thought would help get me a job. But my new
I'm
boss
still waiting for that magic to
listened,
happen for me.
He listened to my podcast when I sent my resume, and he immediately hired me.
Yeah,
glorious.
Man,
You make us sound beautiful.
Yeah.
I really need to start applying with my podcast on it and be like, guess what? I could be a thong model.
Listen to this podcast.
Wow, that thong isn't breaking? That must be a great thong.
Very terrible.
Yeah, it's made from rhino liner.
Yeah.
What about you, Cody?
I think someone is attempting to recruit me into a cult recently.
What kind of cult?
Let me just
All right, I'll
let
slow
me
down.
back up.
I'm curious.
Walking the dog, neighbor lady, noticed my dog, new neighbor lady, and she has a dog just like my dog. And he was just like, oh, hey, how are you? Where are you from? This, that, the other thing. And then, like, I say, like, you know, I give my, like, life story. She thinks I'm, like, 17 because she asked if I got into college yet. And I'm just like, yeah.
You do have a
gotten into
17
them.
look about you, which I don't know how you've managed to maintain that.
Yeah.
I don't know either. It's weird. I thought it was a genetics thing, but the other half of my family still is just like, wow, that guy is fetus faced.
Your younger brother looks as though he used to pick you up from kindergarten.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Adequate, astute description. Hit it off with this lady. She's 60, by the way, so she's not not hitting on me because she thinks I'm 17 or whatever.
Maybe she was. Never know.
And then she does like the standard thing. It's just like, hey, want to go to a party with me? And I'm just like, whoa. And when is it? And she's like, oh, Friday night. And I'm just like, okay, where is it? And she gives me like this really obscure church name. And I'm just like, you invited me to a party at a church. And she's just like, there's all you can eat pancakes. And I'm just like, you're trying to recruit me into a cult, bitch. I can smell it. I can fucking smell it.
By
And then-
pancakes, she meant her areola.
Yes. Second pancake.
Well, Cody, I wouldn't write this off entirely. Maybe it's one of those cults where all they do is focus on draining cocks.
Yeah.
You know, and then
yeah.
you be in good shape
Yeah,
just getting
but-
your cock drained.
They still kill you after like the 70-second cock draining, I feel, right?
I think
they
it was
might.
probably
Ain't worth it.
it's probably just jerking off into a volcano because you're in Hawaii.
And she mentioned like the name of the religion. I don't want to butcher the enunciation or have the ire of that church suddenly like come after me. But she was just like, yeah, we have a unity. We preach tolerance and unity and how all religions must be unified into one.
Oh.
so that
Oh,
mankind-
Unitarianism.
I don't know if it's that. She didn't say that word. She used a different word that she was just like, look it up, and I'm just like, bitch, I'm not looking this up. It's gonna like leave a weird cookie in my browser or something like that. And she asked for a ride to the church.
Oh, that's a hell of a way to get you.
Yeah, just like
Oh, maybe she's trying to drain your dick before you even get in there. And then when you
Yeah.
pull up, a lot more where that came from. To which I would also say, no, it's already happened. I'm post-drainage.
Yeah, Post Malone.
There is nothing here for you.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I got an RSVP soon. We'll probably do it tomorrow. Tell that bitch now.
You should make additional content of going to this church.
Yeah. Wow. That'd be sick.
I'm not doing that. Look, I got it. Let me see a fucking $300 jump on the Patreon.
I'll send you the Zoom recorder if you do it.
There you go.
The hand one. You can roll around. You can be like,
Let's
what's
see.
up, bitch?
Let's see a $300 jump on the Patreon. Tom will get me a Zoom recorder. I'll put on my Sunday best and eat pancakes in this
Kool-Aid.
cult environment for the ninnies if they're willing to nut up for it.
Nut up. Well, I mean, you might be the one nutting up here.
I'll be nutting out.
Outward, yes, for sure. Travis, I rarely ask this question, and I feel really bad about it. Would you like to start the episode?
I mean, it's up to you guys.
You know what? I wanted to tell you some things before we started. It's called foreplay, Tom. I know when you're
you
around a
say it's
woman,
weak?
when you're around a woman, you're just right in there.
Yeah.
I need to foreplay the episode a little bit.
I am biologically aware. My name has changed to Saltman. It used to be Seedman.
I see.
So my week, thanks, Tom. Well, first of all, I almost died because I slipped
yeah.
when I got out of the shower and pulled off the curtain hanger. This is great. My foot was
curtain
fucked up, and that was the same day that I cut myself with some scissors.
How did you do
So I'm
that?
just like,
What are you doing?
I was a nightmare child.
What project are you doing where all this bodily harm is at risk?
But what I was gonna do, and I don't mean this to point at this, but Tom introduced me to my new favorite YouTuber who made me lol.
Who?
Davey504. He's an epic slapper.
Yeah, he's funny. He doesn't need an attention from us. Like
No, but I'm just saying I've just been walking around epicoing things.
okay, fair enough. I mean, he's got
What is going on?
almost
I
6
know
million
nothing about
subscribers. You don't need to give him a plug.
Yeah, but he's Italian, so come on.
Hey.
He's a bass player.
What is going
Cody.
on?
He's
I don't know what's going on.
This guy, Davey504, he's a bass player. He's actually very funny. He's one of these people who figured out how to do YouTube humor without being an ass about it.
Oh, the Holy Grail.
I know he doesn't need a plug, but I almost died twice. Once from scissors and once from falling out of showers. And Davey made me laugh.
All right.
Stop taking scissors into the fucking shower with you.
You gotta be careful, Travis.
What were you cutting?
Something to do with work. Trust me, I have a dangerous job at my coffee house.
All
I'll
right.
buy it. Holy shit. how
This
long
is
has
why
that
I
been?
don't want to talk to Travis about it this week. Because he talks about a YouTube channel that everybody knows about. He talks about scissors, and he talks about falling. But not
That's our
even in
boy.
great enough detail. It's just like, you didn't even mention that you were wet. You just said I'm getting out of the shower. You
Well,
didn't paint
yeah.
the picture. You were just like, oh, God, I'm going to fall down.
Yeah, there's no water involved. So you guys want to learn about a little stupid idiot?
Yeah,
Or
please.
what?
I mean-
Do you want me to just go fall in the shower again? We know how to do episodes.
Yeah,
You
that's
do
it.
you, man.
That's bonus
I'll just
episode.
provide commentary on either one.
Well, tonight we are roasting the 19th century preacher, Henry Ward Beecher.
Nice.
You ever heard of this idiot?
No, I know nothing about him, which I always get tingly in the scrot when I know there's an episode I can fully learn a thing on.
Was he a fat guy who swam like a whale and then beached himself a lot?
He was pretty chubby, and he did have an excellent mane.
Excellent mains.
Yeah.
I'm
Those
Curiosity
lionfish.
piqued.
Yeah.
It's interesting because he was one of the most famous people of the 19th century in America. And he's also responsible for megachurches.
Oh,
yeah.
I foreshadowed with my cult fucking shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Any pancakes there?
Oh, tons of pancakes. So he's pretty much unknown today, and there's a reason for that.
Did he have sex with kids?
No, surprisingly, yes.
Oh, weird answer.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's a big old yes or no.
No, that's a
Yeah.
yes. Because, you threw me for a loop, because usually when you talk about, religious people, you think of little boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not into the boys, but had sex with kids.
fair enough. No, I mean, gross, grotesque, horrifying, but fair enough.
All right, well, this will still be funnier than Leopold.
We'll do it.
So,
Make it happen.
so
I'm not
you may
sorry.
have heard of his older sister, though, Harriet Beecher Stowe. You guys know her?
No.
Yes.
She was America's first novelist to break 1 million copies with her story, Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh.
I never heard of it.
You never heard of it?
That's a slave one where they talked about slavery.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
no.
around during
Happy
slavery,
Martin Luther
Mike?
King Day, everyone.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're roasting an abolitionist right before Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Smooth.
It's fine. Martin Luther was a great guy. He had
Yeah.
ideas. He had thoughts. He was the good preacher.
Yeah.
He just had sex with women.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fine.
yeah.
Not kids. Cared about his people. Fine.
So
Why were you laughing at that? There was no joke.
Who's laughing?
I was laughing.
You were laughing.
I'm
before
always
when I
laughing.
said that.
The
Both of you
ninnies.
guys.
We
Everyone-
could hear them through the internet laughing.
I heard you guys laughing.
I didn't laugh.
All right.
So, yeah, Tom. Uncle Tom's Cabin was a fictional account of the brutalities of slavery in the South and would become one of the primary texts to stir up abolitionists in the North, which would eventually lead to the Civil War. Now, Harriet, like her younger brother Henry, they were both at Northern abolitionists. They were supporters of religious reform and women's suffrage. So you might be thinking,
Nice.
Travis, why are you going to roast someone with these noble causes?
Yeah.
You know, this guy sounds great already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also forgot that I asked a startling question before, which was, did he have sex with children? And you answered yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sorry
So
if I
maybe-
ruined your script.
You
I-
ruined my goddamn script,
I know you
Thomas.
put a lot of time into these. I do appreciate your time. As goofy as you are, you really do your work here at Roast Mortem.
Yeah.
He had sex with kids. So yeah,
I just want to take that out of context
this
so
is-
bad.
I'm gonna take it out of context.
Put
That's
that
how
at
we're
the top of
starting
the episode. Yeah, there we go.
so sometimes this episode's kind of about sometimes people that have good causes and may have the best intentions can be an asshole, and maybe those reasons why they're getting, backing those causes are not for the best reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. I buy it. I got you, boo.
So let's dive into Henry Ward Beecher, America's most famous man.
We're gonna remake him famous.
Remake him
Wait,
famous.
Henry.
This is the big episode.
So
Henry
Henry was
Preacher?
born.
What's his name? What's his full name again?
Henry Ward Beecher.
Henry
Yeah.
Ward Beecher. Okay.
So Henry was born in Litchfield, Connecticut in 1813 to a very famous Calvinist preacher named Lyman Beecher.
Got it.
So Lyman,
That's
what?
a name that needs to be brought back. By the
Yeah,
way,
Lyman.
We need more Lymans today.
Lyman Beecher was a very fire and brimstone, hard-ass preacher. A man of God that believed that men were born with sin and were constantly sinning, and the only way that they could be saved was through the power of the Scripture.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Makes sense.
how was your day, Lyman? Out here sinning, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Came in a urinal.
Yeah, the
You ever
Bible
done that?
explicitly says something about that.
No, I haven't done that.
No, never.
I was just testing
Not
you guys.
me.
Mike, did you do that?
So I said no.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Beechers were of the Calvinist denomination. Calvinism was a highly conservative version of Christianity, and it came from the Puritans that originally settled New England on the Mayflower.
All right, Calvin's got it.
So yeah, that was these Puritans came to America nearly 200 years before Henry Beecher was born. But this pilgrim shit, right? And the Calvinists, they believed that the devil was a physical form lurking around every corner, jerking off into salads, tempting people with sin, and bringing them down in the fiery, salady pit of hell, of cum salad hell.
Yeah.
Wow, Jebediah, that salad looks great. Were you making sure to keep your eye on it the entire time? Oh, no? Well, I can't eat that salad because Lucifer has certainly came on it.
They also believed that people's fate was preordained by God.
Predestiny.
Yeah. So interesting enough, this is mainly for you two guys over there, is that Lyman got his start preaching in East Hampton, New York in 1799.
It's a nice area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
There's rich people.
All over the
A lot of
place.
dickheads over there.
Yeah, well, I wonder if that's coincidental.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Probably. Henry Beecher was shit out into the world in 1813, like I mentioned, this hard-ass Calvinist. When he was 8 out of 13 children born to Lyman.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Big old brood.
Lyman like to have fun.
Brood is a good word.
He liked to put his seed in his sin bag, which was what he called his wife.
Yeah. Scrotum to send bag.
That's a lot of confessions, man.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah.
every single cell that comes out of the front.
Every semen, every little squirmy tadpole.
Yeah,
is
you
a
got to
sin.
count them. You got to TSA them. It probably took him a year to come because he had to stop him at the urethra and make sure he was counting the numbers right.
Slow it down.
My precious
She's got the
holy
little
Google.
clicker.
So growing up in America in the 1810s and 20s was hard. America had just been put in its place by England in the War of 1812, which people at the time called the Second American Revolution, and America was dirt poor. Poor old country.
Yep.
Wow, how unlike today.
So on top of this poor sandpaper for dinner times, Henry's father claimed to be built for war and was leading a no-fun religious crusade on America that he called the Great Benevolent Empire.
Sounds
All
like
right.
fun.
Mouthful, yeah.
Yeah, so Lyman had high expectations for all of his children, putting immense pressure on them as they grow up to be good Christians and continue the fight against sin.
Wait, can I do Lyman real quick? Now, I know I've got 13 of you kids, and statistically, at least one of you is going to be homosexual. So, I'm going to ask you to repress those feelings and go start a pecan farm and talk about God.
Oh,
Now-
yeah, Papa.
If any of you homosexuals come knocking at the door, I'm going to get the spoon, Mr. Spoon.
Oh, God.
The old
Dad,
knuckle. Stop it. Stop looking. Stop taking care of yourself. Stop going to the gym so much.
Thanks,
Papa, I really like HDTV.
Hate that network.
What was that? Get out of here. Get out of my house. Go start the pecan farm.
So, when Henry was 3, his mother died of tuberculosis.
Ah,
Yeah, something that Henry didn't really remember because he's 3, but his older sister Harriet would stick with her entire life. His mama dies. It's sad.
got it.
Back in those days in rural Connecticut, if you had a kid or if you had kids, you had to have a wife. Especially if you're Lyman and you're starting this crusade.
Well, I mean, that goes for today too. How else are you gonna go to the sports bar and watch the sports?
Yeah,
if you don't
it's
have a wife.
2 for at Applebee's.
Yeah.
Me and the boys
for
heading
me.
out. It's Veterans Day.
So Lyman took a trip to Boston and bought one.
Oh, nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got that BOGO deal in Boston.
That's right. Back then, sort of like a mail order bride, you could just go to Boston and buy a wife.
Custom?
Why did we stop this? Yeah,
Custom.
Mike, you got to kid it out.
In 5 words or less, what kind of customization would you do to your wife?
Oh, tribal tattoos.
Tribal tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only 2
It's
words. You know what you want.
You got 3 more, Mike.
Spinners.
What are her
there you
trucks
go.
like?
Hollow kingpin.
Look at
I was thinking like tighter.
I take back
loose,
what I said
but-
about tribal tattoos because I feel like it's going to come back and haunt me.
What's wrong about tribal tattoos?
I don't know.
They look hot on women in the 90s.
You mean tribal body art?
Yeah.
Use the proper term, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
I take that back.
No, you don't have to. It's fine.
Ed Hardy t-shirt.
Ed Hardy t-shirt. Yeah.
No,
That's Mike's
custom.
Mike's Tinder right there. Do you have an Ed Hardy T-shirt?
Oh, instant
Required.
match.
Required.
Well, I got several thousand messages in an hour.
All right. So Harriet described how Henry was so excited to get his new mom. Yeah. It was like Christmas for him. Something that Calvinists did not celebrate in any way.
Oh, fuck that. I'm off this train.
Yeah, no Christmas, no birthday, no celebration. Because this is
No Hanukkah?
Imagine the one holiday you get is when your dad marries a stranger.
This is for you, son.
Love you, son. Don't be gay.
So Lyman's new wife, 27-year-old Harriet Porter, was actually more strict and hard on her children, her stepchildren, than crusty old Lyman. And
Lyman found that hot.
yeah. Let's be clear. Lyman was not sweet to his kids. He once told Henry.
There's 13 of them, of course.
Yeah. He once told Henry, "Do you know that every breath you take is a sin?"
Really? Damn.
Wow.
A lot of sinning.
Yeah. Don't breathe, idiot.
You're just born to do it wrong then. You're a little cinnamon.
Yeah.
Crawling around like it's all wrong, isn't it?
You're just ruining everything by breathing.
That'll be the worst guy to go on a road trip with because everything is wrong. You know, you bring it, you give him the map, you go, which way do I go? Doesn't matter. It's all wrong.
It's preordained.
Yeah.
No, what's the right way? How do I get to fucking How do I get to Busch Gardens? Well,
Maps backwards.
I don't know. It's all wrong. If we go there, we're just gonna sin anyway. Might as well just stay at Cracker Barrel.
I mean, he's
That's
not
not
wrong.
too bad.
You could. I want to retire tomorrow. Just stay at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Last time I went to Cracker Barrel, I had diarrhea before I stepped out of the dining area.
And that was Cracker Barrel's fault.
Yeah, of course it was. Because I engorged myself on Southern delicacies like white gravy.
That's good stuff.
That's funny because that actually happened to me too. I was like sick instantly. Like I was walking through the gift shop because you always have to walk in through the gift shop. What restaurant do you have to walk? You exit through the gift shop.
What do they sell in the gift shop?
Well, they only got one door.
Yeah.
Because they have to have those real wide doors, you know? Really.
And can I just say something from a Cody point of view? Like, why use the barrel for the cracker container? Wouldn't crates be much more packing efficient?
Are we talking about Ritz though? Big ass Ritz? That's a circle, dude. Whoa,
Yeah, but circles still
Cody.
don't fucking.
Bam!
No, circles still don't tessellate with other circles.
Whatever, dude.
I don't know. Look, all I'm going to say is that it's probably the only place in America where it's an advantage to start diabetic.
Okay, so this new mommy, Harriet Porter, served her purpose in this fucked up Calvinist world as Lyman's cum dumpster, and she squirted out far more Beecher kids, adding to Lyman's army.
Wait, so
yeah, all right.
so wait, were the 13 existing already with Harriet?
No, I think Henry was maybe the 8th or something like that.
Henry, so he was Henry VIII. I am. And then all of a sudden Harriet comes in because the other one died of TB, and then the new one comes in and gets 5 more.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's math. Thank you, Tom.
Hey,
So-
man, I'm here.
Yeah, Harriet quickly spiraled into an abusive depression as a lot of her newborns. I mean, she had more than just 5. Some of them like died right away from
it
something
happens back
something
then.
that they called black canker, also known as scarlet fever.
That's a colorful sickness. Black and scarlet?
Yeah, right?
Eventually, she would have a minor stroke at the age of 34, and which left her very, even more miserable. She would die young about 10 years later. And the funny thing is, the reason why I'm going off on her a little bit, because she was like a big kind of character that I'm going to just not talk about after this point, is that Lyman at the time, who had relocated the family to Cincinnati, would just head back to Boston and buy a new wife. He traveled all the way from Cincinnati to Boston. It was like, I don't know, that one.
Good selection in Boston.
It's like a rent-a-center deal.
Yeah, dude.
What's the Ferraris?
How much were these wives, by the way?
Can I get a group?
I didn't get a price. Didn't get a
All
price.
right, that's fine, but I'm going to assume since this guy spent all of his money on not sinning, that it must have been affordable.
Yeah, well, the second time he bought a wife, she was used. She was a divorced wife.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That should have been seen as illegal because
Yeah,
that's
right.
even illegal in the Catholic Church today. I have
sorry, not
uncles that I'm not
divorced,
allowed
widowed.
to talk to. Oh,
Really?
widowed. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
That's
divorced
fine.
by
She's still
death.
on the used wife lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This baby's only got about 30,000 pumps on her. Is that how they
Slaps
measure
wood.
old wives?
So Henry Beecher, our subject, was like the odd duck out of the Beecher kids, right?
Odd duck.
Odd duck. Is that a phrase?
No, the
No.
ugly
Now it
duckling
is.
or
Now
You
it is.
could have said black sheep. That would have worked
Odd
totally
duck.
fine.
Dude, ducks are
Where
odd.
did- you have to explain odd duck before we continue.
Dude, when I see
Briefly,
a duck,
though.
I'm like, that shit is odd.
If it's like in your house, yes, it's an odd duck to be in your fucking house.
See? Works.
All right, this is a fucking tangent, but it's like if you walked into someone's house and they said, "Hey, I'd love for you to check out my collection of rare vases,"
Sure.
and then they show you from wall to wall a collection of rare, expensive, what was it, Ying Dynasty vases,
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
and
Got
then
it.
one of them was a living duck.
You don't say.
Yeah, that's an odd duck out.
Yeah, right?
What's doing there?
He totally works.
Yeah, it does
Smartest
work. Travis,
thing.
you're
No.
right.
Because
Thanks, Tom.
even if you're playing duck, duck, goose, goose is the odd one out, not the ducks. The ducks are normal in that game.
Moving on. So, most of these Beecher kids were the model examples of Christians, right? They were scared
Sure.
into getting good grades. They excelled in this weird Christian bubble. Henry was like a little. While he was still scared shitless, he was still like getting out there, being mean, not doing his prayers sometimes.
Slacker.
And he also had a speech impediment, so everyone laughed at it.
Oh, that sucks.
What's he got? He's got a lisp. He's got a stutter.
Yeah, I think so. But it's interesting because he would go on to become one of the biggest preachers, and the fact that he had a speech impediment. Well, I said that speech impediment. Blah, blah, blah.
It was onomatopoeia.
He would be really. He'd be an asshole if like someone corrected him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He'd be like, I don't know. Look at my flock is like the odd ducks out, and then like
that's an
someone be
impediment.
like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, but that's normal. We've been doing that to you forever. As long as I've known you, Travis.
Yeah.
But that's not a speech impediment.
He had one of those constant impediments, and then he outgrew it, or he learned how to get past it. So when people would correct him in the future, he'd be a dick about it. Like if he like misspoke on a word, like what you guys do to me.
No. You don't misspeak. You misthink.
Wow.
Dude, my thinking is so good.
You
It's smooth
perfectly
as shit,
pronounced
dude.
odd duck out.
Dude, odd duck out
out's
is great.
pronunciation
Mike,
is
you
fine.
agree with me? Come on, dude. Pack me up, bro.
I agree with you, Travis.
This might be the best episode
100%.
ever. I love this. We're learning so much about each other.
This episode's going to be fucking 8 hours long.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
Harriet was the complete opposite of Henry. She was smart, knew multiple languages, could read well, all this shit. And in this Handmaiden's Tale of a World, that is 19th century New England, Lyman lamented that he wished Harriet was a boy and Henry was a girl.
All right.
Oh, that's despicable.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been sinning.
Yeah. Anyway,
Praying more.
moving on. Because I got I got a lot of fucking slides here.
Is this going to be the
Words.
longest episode ever because this is the most famous man ever?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm fine. I got a lot of energy tonight. Let's go.
Dude,
Boys, let's make it happen.
I'm excited.
I think so
okay.
far I've said one or two funny things that might work, so I'll keep those in the episode.
Okay, so Lyman was not making a lot of money in Litchfield, Connecticut. So he's like, all right, might as well go where I can buy wives. So let's go to Boston.
Yeah,
And
go to the source.
yeah, so he moves the family to Boston because what is the point of teaching fear if you're not making bank?
Yeah, right.
All right.
Well, obviously it's to further enlighten your soul and body.
Yeah, salvation, like Tom says.
yeah.
What's that eternal thing called, right? It's salvation. Thank you, Cody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also damnation, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's if you Anyway, he moves over there. You're saying he's in Boston now because it's a lot closer to the used dealership.
Yeah. So he sets up a chapel and starts preaching all of his hate and starts really going after the denomination called Universalists, who were sinners and not the chosen people. These were like liberal Christians. They were like, I don't know, dude, God's cool.
I
Sick.
think P.T. Barnum was one of those.
Yeah, it was a
I'm
very
going back a year and a half now with our episodes. This is the kind of shit I retain while I'm drinking.
yeah. It was
I will remember your face if you try to rape me.
yeah, Universalists were like a lot of the elites and stuff. They were into that. Like,
Okay.
you know. They're like, I don't know, we're just having a good time making money, dog. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, right.
God is good, money's better. You want to trade wives for an hour?
Yeah, right?
Wife swapping.
So in
Matthew
Boston,
Sims.
Henry joins one of those old-timey street urchin gangs called the Salem Streeters. Ooh.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, bunch of tough guys.
Yeah, they get in all sorts of mischief, like kicking the shit
No
out of
girls
friends,
allowed.
kicking the shit out of kids, and stealing shit, spying on the girls. So that made Henry even more of a black sheep or odd duck.
Fuck you.
So in this dock town, Henry gets the idea that he wants to become a captain of a ship. Obviously not the career Lyman wanted for him. So at 14, Henry runs away and runs off to the docks to become a sailor. Gets cold feet, goes home. Lyman's like, dude, if you want to be a captain, you got to learn how to read sea charts and calculate routes, so you got to get the books, get good at the math.
Is that what he said? Why did you
verbatim?
Why did you do your best Cosby impression just now?
No one's heard how that guy preached. Maybe that's how he preached. I don't know.
I mean,
Hey, wouldn't he be like really pissed off that he ran away? But he like kind of encouraged him to like do it.
Dude, he was doing some like sly moves here. Because he's like, oh, you got to get better in school if you want to be a captain. So Henry listens.
Okay.
His grades improve. Also not by choice, because Lyman's like, all right, you're going to a Christian boarding school. But
there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, Henry quickly realized that he sucked at math. And he was like, you know what? Let's just do what my dad does. I'll start preaching.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just talk,
family
right?
business.
So when it came time to picking college in 1830, Henry was like, I'm going to Yale, just like my father and all my older brothers. The problem was that Henry sucked. So Lyman was like,
Wait,
Yeah, all right.
Lyman went to Yale?
yes.
Where we missed that information.
Do you mean like he visited that location
No.
or was actually enrolled in Yale?
He graduated from Yale.
So
Really?
he's
Okay.
he's not mentally slow.
No, he's just into that fire and brimstone teaching.
Yeah, but what did they study back then?
Fire and brimstone, most likely.
Yeah,
Shit's like
I was going to say
fucking-
that.
Yeah. No, this is like a calculated preacher guy. You know what I mean? Like he's not this Lyman is pretty popular at the time. Not as big
Oh,
as
so he became popular because he said he wasn't making any money. So now he's doing better. He went to
Yeah.
Yale. He runs his course in Cincinnati and then Connecticut, and then he goes over here and
No,
he
he's
starts
in
figuring
Boston.
it out.
He's in Boston.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now he's in Boston.
Yeah.
He did the other two locations. He's in Boston now. He's figuring it out. He's making money. He's the loud mouth boy.
No, he's not. He hasn't gotten to Cincinnati. I was kind of flash forwarding a little bit if we're confused.
All right.
You broke the timeline.
Sorry, I broke it. Travis, I don't know what you did wrong, but you definitely did something. Anyway, let's move along.
All
I
right.
can't figure it out yet.
So, the problem is, like I said, Henry still kind of sucked at school. So Lyman was able to pull some strings and got him into the ultra-conservative Amherst College, nicknamed
Hey,
the Priest Factory. It's like
All
Fear
right.
Factory
Catchy.
but
Fun.
with priests.
Spring
Yeah.
break.
sounds like an anti-comedy club name. You know what I mean? Instead of like the Laugh Factory, it's the Priest Factory.
Yeah, everyone gets 1 hour sets.
Comedy store. Yeah.
So in college, of course, this is an all-boys college, Henry meets a Greek exchange student named Constantine.
I knew his name would be that.
It's a cool name.
Of course.
Yeah.
The two are best buds. And Henry calls him, in quotes, the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Now,
Oh,
What?
and
Huh?
now you might think,
What?
gay.
What?
oh, to each his own.
But
Especially if Dad said no.
but the weird thing is that's how just like dudes used to talk back then. Be like, Tom, like we're buds. I'd love to kiss you on the lips.
It's not. No.
And I would say, Travis,
no.
I am from the future, and you're creeping me out.
Those are very beautiful, I must say.
No, you're right. No, that's if you look at historic letters, I remember reading a couple of Abraham Lincoln's letters, and the whole rumor of him being a homosexual, which is probably true. He used to write to a lot of his men friends, and you could see how he would talk very dearly about them.
Yeah.
Like if I missed you for some reason, which I never have, but if I did, and I wrote you a letter, Mike, it would be like a love letter. I'd be like, oh, I miss spending time with you, and your hair is so nice, and you don't smell that bad.
I wish I could read.
I buy that, but men calling other men beautiful just seems weird.
It's definitely weird to us.
Just the adjective,
I think you
like
guys are
dashing,
beautiful.
handsome, all fly, but it's just like calling another man beautiful is weird to me.
You're beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hey, I mean, they probably think we're fucking really weird because we don't care what people do.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't care about what people do in the bedroom or what color their skin is. Like that's just a normal thing that we do. But if someone was to talk about us, found out about us from the past, they'd be like, heathens. Going to heck.
They'd be
going
like-
to heck.
Yeah, they'd be
all
like-
of you.
They'd be like, gay.
That's on point.
Uh,
there you go.
So, all right. Like I said, this is how dudes talk to each other. Henry actually changed his middle name to Constantine for a while. And he'd go around like being like, "Oh, I'm Henry Constantine Beecher," because we're best buds. And then he also named one of his children Constantine. The two
Too much
drifted
love.
apart.
The man crush.
Yeah, it's a man crush. Two drifted apart. But Henry, one of the customs that he picked up from Constantine was a Greek custom of kissing people on the cheek as a greeting, which I personally can't stand.
All right. Got to clear some air right now.
Sure.
Got some Greek friends. I do this every time with them. I kiss my Greek male friends on the cheeks, both sides. They still do that shit today, and it's very comforting.
I just think
You did that to me once.
it's an
You did that to
invasion
me
of
once,
personal
Tom.
space.
Yeah. No, not when
Here's
you're
the thing.
Greek. It's just normal. And then also, I'm dating a Brazilian who, when
Yeah.
you basically hug and almost French kiss everyone.
Okay. let me just say, like, you kissed me on the cheek once, and the fact that you were very drunk and speaking with a Greek accent somehow made it copacetic. I was okay with this. If either one of those two things was not there, I would have been very uncomfortable. But you were drunk and speaking with a Greek accent, and it kind of like, a spoonful. It flew under my radar.
Right. So I put you there for a moment. So now I'm putting our audience there for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if I had an old octopussy I found on the Greek beach, and then I go to
That has
kiss you
nothing
on
to
the
do
face,
with
and
your-
you get fucking like poop bile coming out of you?
What are you talking about?
What's he talking about?
No, I mean, you're assuming these are dirty people. They're not.
Maybe I'm just dirty. If I was in Greece, I'd find those beach octopus in a second. But eat that shit, baby.
All right.
Probably fetid.
All right.
Fine.
Another thing he picks up in college is phrenology. Phrenology.
Hey.
How do you pronounce that? I don't even know. Cody,
Phrenology.
you did some research on us. Tell about what that is.
I did a page of research because Travis wanted me to.
Lazy.
Phrenology. It's those little. The best image for phrenology is that like white porcelain bust. It's not a bust because it's just a head, and it's got like all the dotted lines all over like the alleged sectors of the brain, and each brain sector has its own like descriptor on it. It was pretty much the thought that like your psychological and mental makeup could be deduced by the lumpiness of your head.
Mike, what do you feel about that? You having the smoothest brain here.
Yeah, so it's a game of smooth brain or lumpy skull.
Lumpy skull doesn't sound like fun.
No.
You gotta have that
so, like,
smooth brain. You got smooth thoughts, smooth road.
Yeah.
lumpy brain
No
might
bumps in
make
the
you
way.
a serial killer depending on where those lumps are. So there is somewhere between 30 to 40 sectors of the brain depending on like which school of thought you read up on.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, this is all pseudoscience nowadays. I don't know. I don't buy it, but if I was back in the day in charge of determining whether this was science or pseudoscience, I would have no fucking idea how to begin debunking phrenology. It comes from this is funny. It comes from it spouts from an ancient Greek's research on the brain. His name was Galen, and he thought the brain was made from semen.
Oh, every time you come, you're shooting brain?
Hilarious, but technically he's not wrong because
What?
everything on you is made from semen at one point.
That's very true.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like we're all made of semen.
Mind blown right now.
Yeah, your mind is blown.
Well, we all came from semen somehow.
Yeah, man.
We're all made of semen.
You're the lucky one.
That's fucking sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, so the...
I'll
yeah,
look at
but
it
also-
actually. Maybe I don't know.
If I was an ancient Greek guy or whatever and like rolling around and some guy was like, hey, there's like 40 to 50 things in your brain that make you what you are today, I'd believe
Yeah.
it. It sounds really smart.
yeah.
It makes sense until you like begin practicing it and realize like, oh, the serial killer bump is all over the brain. You know what I mean?
Oh, like CTE kind of, where it's like brain trauma.
It's not trauma. It's just the lumpiness of your skull.
Oh.
Like if you got a bump here, that makes you a serial killer. But the thing is, serial killers would, have and have not that bump. So
Yeah.
it wasn't consistent in any means.
And they're not doing a CAT scan, Mike. This is like...
No.
So Henry Beecher and
just-
his friend would walk around like touching people's heads, kissing them on the cheeks, be like, "Oh, looks like you were very horny all the time."
Trying to feel up the head.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine.
Hey, give me a head
right.
massage.
Free head massage.
so. With all these great features about Henry, he became a very popular guy, and like I said, he outgrew his speech impediment, and he had like a very easy personality and the gift of the gab. Many people told him with such charm, fast wit, and charisma that he should become an actor.
Oh.
But acting,
Okay, why not?
But acting and attending plays were a mortal sin, so can't do that.
That sucks.
Oh, he was still in on this bag?
Yeah, he's still in it, pretty much.
But breathing is a sin, but acting is too much of a sin. So he's willing to breathe, but not willing to act.
Wow.
He also discovered the other sex and found it very easy to flirt.
You mean there's two of these?
Yeah.
Why does your cock look like a wallet?
Jesus Christ. Oh. That one crept in.
Yeah,
right.
that tickled my dick hole.
Well done, sir.
One of the big topics of the time, this is like the 1830s and 1840s, that most of his crushes had were abolition and this new religious fervor called the Second Great Awakening. Now,
It's a horrible band.
Yeah, right.
What?
Wake up, little kids. You got to do something. You got to get out there.
Now, Henry didn't really give a shit about abolition. I mean, the Beechers had 2 black indentured servants growing up.
Oh, Lord.
But if caring about abolition meant that he'd get more attention and possibly pussy, yeah, free to blacks.
Yeah, that's why any guy is vegan.
You just similarize slavery with veganism?
No, I'm just saying why guys do shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, just to get in the right crowd. Obviously,
right crowd
obviously,
being a
one of those
vagina.
things is abolition's important.
Yeah.
Veganism
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
fad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of you might disagree with me, but here we are.
Impossible Whopper.
So I think at this point he's in his early 30s. He's probably still a virgin because remember, sex before marriage is a sin. But he was
Yeah,
flirting. You know what I mean? He's like smelling them pheromones. He's seeing that leather wallet.
Probably dying. Like on blue balls like crazy.
Yeah.
But he's making kids.
So around his sophomore year, Henry meets a college buddy. Henry meets his college buddy's sister, Eunice Bullard.
Yeah, Eunice.
Yeah. Eunice, despite having an extremely ugly name, was a beautifully curvy lady with rosy, clear skin and auburn hair.
Well, it's not as
Nice.
ugly as that if you pronounce it properly, which is you nice.
There we go.
Nice.
It's very bold to say that, and an awful thing to be a woman, but it's a great descriptor.
There you go.
So Eunice, or Eunice,
Yeah.
came from another crazy religious family. They were Congregationalists. That is a very hard word to say. Congregationalists, which are like Calvinist's crazy sister. And Papa Bullard once threw a hot bowl of soup at Eunice for wearing a low-cut dress, saying, "You look cold. This soup will warm you up."
How low was it?
Oh.
Was
it
she
a
showing her
turtleneck?
toes?
Ankles.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Also, great zinger before assaulting a bitch with a bowl of soup.
Yeah, right? This guy's like,
It's in there.
here's my one shot. Someone's going to write this down, and they're going
Yeah.
to think I'm the funniest, funniest sadistic man ever.
One of
But
my
he did take like 13 minutes like coming up with it. So
Yes.
it seemed really late and off key when he decided to pull the trigger.
one of
Yeah, they had already gone through the traditional prayers, which is at least
Yeah.
5 minutes, the salad, and they were just getting a soup, which is 13 minutes in. You're right.
No, I think it lasted longer. I think it was like right when he had daughters. He's like, one of my whore daughters is gonna show their elbows, and I'm gonna fucking throw my soup at him.
You know, my father has the weirdest thing where he just is constantly boiling soup. It's like he's waiting for a joke.
Be off-putting if it was just gazpacho. He's like, that doesn't even make sense.
I have hot gazpacho for you. Dad, you're a sick man. So anyway, you nice. What she got? She got burns on her legs now?
Yeah, maybe she was a little disfigured, but anyway.
Oh, look, I mean, don't worry. You throw a couple puka shells on it, you're good.
yeah, shit moved along quickly between Henry and Eunice. Fuck. And Henry charmed her family with his Calvinist flair. And also, he was like, dude, I'm going to become a Congregationalist preacher. So eventually, Henry proposes to Eunice. He's like,
How sweet.
You want to marry me? I will marry you once I become a preacher.
What's Calvinist flair?
I don't know. Like, guess what? Satan's over there. Whoa! I saw him.
Yeah, that's flairful.
That must have been the funniest first time meeting dinner ever. What is Eunice's last name again?
Bullard.
Bullard. Thank you, Mr. Bullard, for this very
Yes.
hot soup. I just wanted to tell you that I am interested in taking your daughter Eunice's hand in marriage. And what I'd like to add on top of that is that I am definitely not gay for a Greek man named Constantine.
Let me kiss you on the cheek like a gentleman.
Dad comes in and is just like, well, he was so specific that this better happen.
So little did I was going to call her Eunice. Little did Eunice know is that him becoming a preacher was going to take a very long time.
All right.
So around this time in America, where it's like mid 19th century, around this time in America in mid 19th century, America was growing west, and what was once the frontier, the Ohio Valley, was becoming upstart metropolises like Cincinnati, right? All these areas.
Areolas.
Areolas, yes.
So Lyman Beecher was like, the only way for my crusade to work is to move out west and influence the budding new nation.
Oh, he's manifest destiny.
Yeah, so Lyman and a bunch of Henry's siblings move out to Cincinnati to spread that fire and brimstone at the Second Presbyterian Church.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which
Glory.
is, I'm assuming one of those sheds that they have pre-built at Home Depot, and they drop it off on a trailer in your backyard.
Yeah. No
Cincinnati.
foundation, no nothing.
There's like a weird little side note thing. Cincinnati at the time was called Porkopolis.
Ooh.
Because
What happened?
Because there were pigs everywhere, like just fuck ton of pigs, like in the streets, like shitting everywhere.
Now,
Oh,
when you
damn.
say Porkopolis, is that the city's nickname, or would that shit actually appear on maps?
It was a nickname,
Okay.
but it might appear on maps. Like fucking, you're gonna smell shit here, Cincinnati, shit town.
Yeah, big old brown
Chowtown.
circle around Cincinnati. You go smell shit here. Sorry. I was in
Yeah,
Cincinnati
in a
a
key.
few years ago, and that is a cool city.
I really want to
Never
go.
been there.
I'd
Yeah,
love
me
to
too.
go.
Yeah, I want to go too.
Maybe we make that the first official roast mortem going out for no particular reason episode.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
Just record a show in a hotel room somewhere.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So after graduating from Amherst College, Henry heads out and follows his father to Cincinnati on his quest to become a preacher. Of course, leaving Eunice behind. You know, he's not a preacher yet.
Oh.
You got to stay. I got to become a preacher.
Yeah. Stay behind. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
So Henry is
Such
shocked
sweet
by all the
Eunice.
different people and cultures in the city. He starts to get very active with his phrenology and also his lifelong hobby of temperance. Yeah,
What is
How?
temperance again?
he's one of those boring boys that don't drink.
Speaking of which, I've never had a Shiner Bock before.
Oh, those are great.
I've never opened it, so I just opened one. I'm going to drink it for you. Here's a beer review right now.
Oh.
Little derailing on you, Travis.
No, this is perfect. I love beer reviews. Tell me about the notes.
Segue.
I don't like it.
There's some great notes. Brown
Yeah, it
notes.
tastes like melted bread.
Oh. Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So yeah, Henry was a temperance boy. He got at one point he got in a fight with a distiller, and everyone was like, "Dude, why are you fighting with this distiller?" Because I like beer.
Yeah.
He also picked up a love for poetry, especially Lord Byron.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He also liked men and thought they were beautiful.
Yeah, he was in more man asses than anyone.
Yeah.
That guy made camp inside of men's anuses.
So I think
Drove in
you,
steaks.
Yeah, he was the kind of guy to make figure out how to make and hunt for food while he was inside men's anuses.
You could scramble an omelet in your ass.
Yeah.
Setting up shop.
So, Byron played both sides of the field, right? Like, he was also into ladies, right?
This
He
is
was
true.
Going
yes.
everywhere.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, it's fine, but he was always in the anus.
Brown
Like
adventurer, as we called him.
Haha. Spelunker.
So, I think some of Byron's work, or some of his ideas, rubbed off on Henry Beecher. Because even while he advocated the sanctity of marriage and chastity, fiancé Henry Beecher was getting some side action.
What? How?
Really?
Now, just keep this in mind. Henry Beecher was very good at concealing his sexual endeavors. What did I write here? Talking about bang buses? Okay.
Weird.
So
Travis,
all these bang bus outings that he would have and all these sexual infidelities would only come out about 30 years after preaching chastity. So he kept this shit under wraps for 30 years.
All right. He's a hypocrite. I feel you.
Yeah.
So he was basically saying to everyone in his congregation, like, hey, no sex with women
Okay.
and their asses. But then we come to find 30 years later that there's traces of asses all over his dick.
What the hell?
The ass is very close from the vagina, you know what I'm saying?
It is. The space between us.
Is that why he proposed chastity so he could have more girls?
Yeah. So, what he did was something I like to call the show your girl a hot SpaghettiOs night. Have them come over. You're like, what up, dog? That's the name of it. That's the tactic.
SpaghettiOs on the grill?
Yeah, everyone I've ever tried to hook up with, I've definitely referred to as dogs.
So, while holding these Bible studies, what he would do is he'd hold these Bible studies for daughters and wives of Cincinnati's most powerful elites, and then hold individual sessions with them on their Bible studies. Slip that Beecher in there. We'll beach it.
All right. So what you're saying is that he invented a machine that would hold up a Bible, but only when he was erect, and he would needed help from his lady congregation. He'd be like, "It's going to change the way that we approach the Bible and we study it. But I need your help. I need you to make me erect."
I
need you.
Yes.
Tom's pants are off right now.
Yeah, they're off right now. He's reading it, and he's got a Bible mount, like a Bible mount on a flashlight.
I saw those.
You know how you lick your finger and then turn the page? He's just doing that with his dick.
That's a long dick.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very prehensile long dick.
Well, think about it this way: if you have a piece like a cock ring that's holding up your Bible
And a bracket.
God forbid you aren't able to read, you need an assistant there to keep you firm.
A fluffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You need a fluffer, and I need you to do the God's work. I need free hands, and I need this to be erect. And she goes, well, why can't we just put this on a podium? Because those seem to work, and God has no problem with podiums. And he would go, no, he does now. He just talked to me.
Because I said so.
Podiums are no good. Priests with podiums, terrible people. So she's like, all right, whatever you need.
Yeah. Little cradle the balls.
Fluffing the priest.
He's cranking one right now.
How many verses are we doing tonight, priest?
All of them.
69, 420.
Yeah.
Matthew 4:20-69.
So with you nice, 100 miles away, over 100 miles away, Henry was railing 4 to 5 women in his rotation,
Whoa.
using his knowledge of God to win them over.
I gotta pick that up.
So Margaret Grossbeck, he said this about her: "I love her, though I am not in love with her." We know what that means.
He's doing high school shit.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also with Caroline Burnett, Caroline Burnett, he remarked, "Beautiful, very thing external about Caroline, but what a work has grace to do within." So it's like,
She's a bad girl.
she's hot on the outside, but she's got some devils inside. I got work on it.
Hey,
So like
man.
IGN would give her like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all these ladies are throwing themselves at Beecher with these wet Bible studies.
So he's handsome. Then.
Oh,
He's handsome. He's a handsome guy. He's a little chunky, but he's handsome for the time.
chunky handsome.
Hey, I've always called you handsome.
Well, you know.
You know,
That was the sound of my
Oh,
wink.
what was that? That was weird. Don't do that again.
that's the winking tip of his dick.
Yeah. So, one girl, Mary Wright, who was only 14 at the time, Beecher, he's in his 20s, would write love letters to her. And he used to spend hours over her family's house, which he called Beecher's Tavern.
Really? You
Weird?
just didn't go with Beach House?
Wow. Yeah, they missed that one because it would have been funny.
Yeah.
For other
And
reasons.
more succinct.
Ah.
Less syllables.
So when Nathaniel Wright, Mary's father, one day he was like, "Whoa, dude, slow your roll. Like, she's 14. Stop sticking it in her." This is her dad.
He's,
Oh, he knows.
So the very next day, Beecher just hit up Mary Grossbeck and was like, "All right, we'll just fuck that shit."
You're of age, right?
All right.
He's swiping left and right.
Yeah, he's going at it
He's
everything.
taking it. He's taking it back. He's doing backsies on Tinder.
That's what needs to happen with these pedophile types. The parents need to step in and go, "Hey, you can't have sex with my kid anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, yeah.
You're not supposed to have sex with my kid. I forbid it. Get out of here."
Wow, excellent Norm Macdonald impression.
Eventually, Mary Wright married. Eventually, Mary Wright married Henry's younger brother, Charles, but she remained smitten by Henry's D the rest of her life.
Wow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Smitten by the D.
Henry still wasn't a preacher. He needed to find a church. And eventually, he did find one in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Wow, he's out there.
Yeah, Indiana back then was a backwater state. It consisted mainly of settlers from Virginia that didn't like stuck-up Yankees like Beecher.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't sound that stuck up.
I mean, he was still preaching this whole, you must be faithful, right? He doesn't sound stuck up to us because we know the deets.
The secrets.
But his public face is like, we must be prim and proper. You cannot even look at your penis. That is a
No
sin.
background. Yeah,
Right,
no
true.
background check.
He's a fun ruiner, this guy.
Yeah. Also, I have something to say about this podcast. This Shiner box not so bad. It's kind of growing on me.
It grew on you?
Oh, there we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's not bad. I take back what I said before. I wasn't expecting this, but this is pretty good. I like it.
Tom's beer hour.
Yeah, it's nice.
The aftertaste.
How many stars?
Out of how many?
Five.
Out of 69 stars, this will get
Nice.
49 stars. So
Sick.
I really like that metric.
out of 69 stars.
That's a good
Yeah,
rating.
let's start. I'm going to start using that. Like, this gets 38 out of 69 stars.
Yeah, I'm into that.
So Beecher took on the local down-to-earth, dirty look of his flock, right? So he grew his hair out down to about, shoulder length,
Oh,
which
flower
was kind of
child shit.
something that people didn't do back then.
Yeah. And then it took till the Beatles to do that again.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's looking like a proper bumpkin here, right? And
Sure.
also, he was quick to cast aside all of his leanings towards abolition, which he had, just basically used to just get in bed with chicks. But
Yeah,
when he
and it's
moved in-
also easy to pass that off along to men. Like when someone's like, "Hey, I don't like your words, and I also don't like that you're an abolitionist." He's like, "No, it's okay. I just said that because I was trying to hook up with this girl, not a 14-year-old, but a different girl."
Never mind
one.
the pedophile behind the curtain.
Yeah, not the one where her dad literally came screaming like, "This is not Beecher's Tavern. It's not Gullah Gullah Island. Get out of here!"
Wow. Gullah Gullah Island.
I was just showing her my Polywog.
Is that a Pokemon?
Yeah,
No, that's from Gullah Gullah Island.
yeah.
Binya Polywog.
There's
Yeah.
also a Pokemon named that.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
So he was, like I said, he was quick to cast aside what he thought was moral, just to gain acceptance and fame with his new, congregation. Beecher soon got familiar with the local schoolgirls and wives, though.
Of course.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
that's
would
what he
why-
does,
why?
right?
I don't
Trying to be a
understand.
preacher.
He got so friendly that some dude's wife professed her love to Beecher, to her husband.
Fine.
So the dude rolled up his sleeves and went to Beecher's new parish to give him a taste of Knuckle Jesus.
Oh, chin music. Hey.
Yeah. Beecher was such a smooth talker that he explained that he wasn't sleeping with her, but he was connecting her with God.
Oh,
So
man.
just simmer down
Yeah.
now.
I'm not sleeping with her. I'm just napping on top of her.
Oh man,
Just doing yoga.
And he didn't get that Knuckle Jesus.
you're lucky my name is Cuck Dave, or this would have gone south real quick.
Davy Cuckett.
Yeah.
So
I'm only doing
it-
this sleeve thing because I got a new shirt that has a button at the elbow that I can connect it to, and I'm trying to show off.
My tank tops are in the wash today, so ooh, you have an extra 13 seconds.
So after it's been 7 years and countless Christian vaginas since Beecher had seen his fiance.
Wow.
But now that he has church, it's time to seal the deal. So Beecher writes to Eunice, and he writes her a love letter. He's like, "I'll be arriving at the end of August to marry your ass."
Oh.
Yo, nice ass.
Yo, nice ass.
Oh man.
Then he hears about an opportunity to preach a short circuit, because back then preachers used to work like a circuit. They go from like church to church preaching.
Yeah.
Preacher Short Circuit is a cool band name.
Yeah. So he hears about this opportunity to go on tour pretty much. And so the day after he sends the letter, he heads out to the East Coast. The letter arrived to Eunice on July 29th. That evening, Beecher showed up and he's like, "Yo, dude, pack your bags. Let's get married. Head out."
Going to Vegas.
Oh.
That's a lot of notice.
Yeah, right?
I just
like
opened this
9
letter.
Yeah, it's like 90 Day Fiancé just divided by 90.
Yeah. So she's like, "What? I don't have anything like ready. I don't even have a dress or anything." So
I'm naked.
yeah, so she had like a very modest wedding the following Thursday.
How modest.
It's like, I don't know, Beecher's like, let's do it.
Yeah, well, she had to fit into the dress that was designed for a 14-year-old, so
Why do you have that?
no reason. It was in the Lost and Found.
The two of them get married and begin their honeymoon of Beecher preaching along the East Coast. A few times Beecher forgot that she was even there. Once boarding a train only to find Eunice running after it. Barely hopping on in time.
Oh, yes.
Oh man, more honeymoon should be like that now.
Man, what a dick.
Yeah.
He's just forgetful, Mike.
It happens.
Oh, sorry, I was preaching to this guy on the train. What's his? The conductor. I was preaching to him,
Yeah.
and I said, "Go forth," too loud, and he started the train. I was coming back. It's not my fault. You blame the conductor, but also be happy that he has been eternally saved.
What, bitch? You made it on the train. Shut up.
Yeah. Eventually, the newlyweds make it back to Indiana, their hometown, Lawrenceburg. Now, on top of it being very uncivilized and sinful in the eyes of sheltered Eunice,
That sounded dirty for some reason. I have no idea why.
it was a living hell for her. Indiana was a mosquito bang bus.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on that bus.
Lots of mosquitoes touching each other, laying their eggs in the water.
Oh
Hey.
really?
Yeah. It was kind of boggy.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Now, mosquitoes carried malaria, or what the settlers called chills and ague, as the victim's whole body would shake and sweat with a high fever.
Og?
Yeah, what's og?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I understand. How do you spell that word?
Ague.
So argue without the R.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's probably just like a weird thing that we don't say anymore, like, penis is cool.
I mean,
The vapors is something we don't say anymore. I don't know collectively if mankind is constantly, or at any point was going constantly, penis is cool.
Yeah, they do that.
Let's bring it
They
back.
used to do that.
Penis is
I mean,
cool.
we just did it twice in the last minute.
Yeah. So Eunice, who was a fairly beautiful woman, was completely ravaged by malaria
Oh,
and
no.
mosquito bites.
Oh, fuck.
Her pale skin quickly was filled with red sores and bites. And Beecher's stay in Indiana, the Beechers, they collectively lost 3 children due to malaria, and Eunice lost
too much.
all of her teeth.
Oh my god.
Wait, is that a thing for malaria, or just that was just an aside? She
It's
was just
God's
like,
plan,
oops.
dude. God's plan.
Yeah,
you don't
you
need those
destined.
teeth.
I think that's not so much the malaria thing, but the Mountain Dew.
We keep coming back to this.
Yeah, Appalachia mouth. Look it up, people.
It's not good.
These are people
no
in
app-
our country suffering right now, and it's kind of funny.
Henry Beecher didn't seem to care or pay attention. He was mainly concerned about his image. And he had a few small bouts of malaria, but pretty much came out unscathed.
Boy.
Few small bouts, yeah. Yeah, my wife looks like human braille, but luckily she's not talking to you. I am.
The toothless thing.
Yeah.
During Henry's tenure in Lawrenceburg, Henry's orthodoxy in Christianity began to soften up a little bit from his father's fire and brimstone Calvinism. This was mainly due to a huge amount of Southern transplants in Indiana that I mentioned before. Didn't like Yankees. That came from Methodist churches. Methodist churches are the ones that do the snake charming, praise Jesus,
Ah, cool.
audience singing. They work themselves in originalist freedom. Like, bam, you fell over, dude. Wow, squid the bone back shot. Pop, 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 pop.
Penis is cool.
That shit.
I feel like Travis has been working on that for a while.
Talking on tongues, dude. I'm always talking tongues. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I think that's some pop, 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 pop,
man.
pop. Jesus. And then I come.
In that order.
Well, I mean, at least we know it gets you off.
Penis is cool.
Is that why you fell in a dry bathtub?
Teach his own.
Do you have clothes on?
Jesus wept. Jesus wept. On the 4th day, he said, let there become.
You're very enlightened.
Yeah, right? So, Beecher thought that this Methodism was immoral, but he attended a mass, and he found the liveliness and energy of the congregation to be exhilarating. And as you can imagine, Calvinists, like they said, they don't celebrate Christianity. Calvinists don't celebrate Christmas and like don't sing. They don't do any of this shit. But Henry's like, hey, I'll energize my sermons, and then maybe it'll attract more followers in my congregation.
It's like when you're in college and you think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are the worst band ever, but then you start listening to them because it's funny. Because you're like, oh, yeah, it's like the guy going, oh, and then you start listening too much, and you're like, oh, it's actually kind of fun. And then the next year, you start a Red Hot Chili Peppers covered band called Flea's Cock.
Yeah. And then you just hold your head in your head in your hands, and you're just like, how did we get here?
Yeah, exactly.
How did this happen to me?
Slippery slope, amigo.
How did this happen to me, a previously healthy American?
So Henry goes full on Flea's Cock band, like full ham, flailing his arms around like a shrimp caught in a net. He reverses the
don't have
stuffy.
hands.
Shut up, Cody. He reverses a stuffy theology that he was born into, and the whole thing about how you're constantly sinning. He's like, hey, man, Jesus loves you. He wants us to be happy.
Oh, he
Thanks, Jesus.
Yeah.
pop shove it 180.
Yeah, so he starts focusing on the New Testament, unlike his father, which was hawking the Old Testament.
Bro, you got a 2.0 that testament.
Yeah. So you're thinking, oh, well, this is convenient because Henry's secret love life, he's changing the rules, you know.
His wife's got no
mean-
teeth.
Yeah. But no, he still preached no adultery, no chastity, and temperance.
No
Something
BJs?
that he constantly
beach.
kept teaching. No beach.
Let's go BJ.
I think no testament appreciates BJs, right, Tom? That's sodomy. I think you were on about that.
Probably brought it up, let's see, probably every episode we've done so far about how blowjobs are technically sodomy.
Really?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
God is
Yeah,
watching
dude.
you. There's foreplay is sodomy.
I hope St. Peter gives me a little BG when I'm at the gates.
Why would he ever consider that?
You know, I don't know.
Makes
It's
these
cool to be
rules.
blown by a saint.
Also, you never asked. Yeah, if you ask, maybe he's ready to suck down a pipe or two.
Right?
By definition, all saints are dead.
I've
By
waited
definition,
all
all
day.
saints are dead. So, like, Travis is dreaming about necrophilia, just so everyone
Dude!
knows.
Shut up! He's an angel. Angel.
Yeah, he's more like
Vinegar.
he's more like a host at an Applebee's.
He's got a major D for you.
Yeah.
Ooh. Henry had much higher hopes in this tiny little parish in Lawrenceburg. And when the right opportunity arose, he quickly dumped his congregation, who had grown to love him at this point, and the ladies loved his penis. And he was like, later, cocksuckers, I'm leaving.
Just a priest saying later cocksucker. It's like the...
Yeah. So a businessman named Henry Bowen had scouted him, and he wanted Henry to move to Brooklyn so Bowen could invest in property in the area, basically build a church for him.
Convenient.
Yeah. So Henry and Eunice moved to Brooklyn, New
Oh,
York.
cool.
I know where that is.
Yeah. Henry starts preaching at the newly built Plymouth I wrote Church. That's a hilarious word. Church.
Yeah. Run
The
with it.
Plymouth Church.
How'd you write church? I'm looking at a keyboard right now, and U and A are very far away.
That's true,
Well,
Thomas.
you know, I just maybe was a little Swedish that day.
Hi, church. Welcome to church.
Now, this is not Brooklyn as you know it today. There are no trendy bars with $13 PBRs or local craft beers or
Yeah,
whatever the fuck
trendy.
they do nowadays. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Tapas.
Brooklyn was rural as fuck. Maybe suburban at best back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Most of the men that lived there commuted to Wall Street in downtown Manhattan via ferries every morning, leaving their wives and children behind. Prime pickings for Beecher.
Ew.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see.
So Beecher actually, he builds this massive congregation using his energetic sermons that he had learned out in Indiana through the Methodists, and became a likable character. And, you know, this was whole revivalist kind of theology of Jesus loves everyone that was really new to everyone. Like, yeah, hell yeah, Jesus is great, dude. Jesus loves us, yes, I know. Thus the Bible tells me so. Thrust in the sheeps of lamb. God of war is a great game.
Is he
That
doing
was one of his
things?
things.
I just got lost in
Yeah.
that saying.
Yeah. You just gave me an aneurysm.
So he draws many people into the Plymouth Chapel. He's like, dude, we need to remodel again. So he builds this massive church where basically he's like the center of the stage, and I think it could hold like 15,000 people.
Damn.
15,000?
Yeah, some fucking massive amount of people in this church. Well, it could hold I think it could hold 3,000, and then there was like standing room in the back.
Oh, well, they didn't even have PAs back then. How the fuck was he going to talk that loud?
Oh, you know, he's like, I don't know.
Pick
I
a
don't,
destiny.
I don't care if
Gotta
they can
yell.
hear. I don't care if they can hear. I'll start charging admission.
Oh,
To
nice.
church?
Yeah, dude.
To church.
To church.
Charging cover for church is like the easiest way to keep a building empty. You know what I mean? Like if you're like some kind of crime syndicate and something shady's going down in a building, just be like, we're a church that charges admission.
Thought they
Totally
did a
empty building,
donation
no
thing?
witnesses.
Oh, they did donation.
Yeah, that's
too.
not cover, Mike.
So the Plymouth Church quickly became New York's biggest tourist attraction.
The Plymouth Church.
Yeah, charge. Droves of people would take the ferry across the East River every Sunday just to see Beecher and his
Wow.
fiery sermons.
Wow. He got that fiery that quick?
Yeah, he was like, this dude blew up.
Good for
He
him.
was- yeah.
Dropping that fire.
Beecher, who fattened up a little bit in his older age. I'm not talking like Don Vito
How do you
chubby.
know this? What footnote is just like guy got fat?
Guy got fat, dude. I read this book. Hold on. What's the author?
What's the name of the book? Come on, what are you referencing?
I'm referencing The Most Famous Man in America, a biography of Henry Beecher, and by Derby Applegate.
Well, that's
What a
not a
name.
real Gary. Well, that's a guy. That's
So-
not a real guy or girl, which is
Yeah.
two words I tried to say at once.
Portmanteau.
So, yeah, he fattened up a little bit, but he still kept his country bumpkin, long hair, and dirty clothes. That just was added to the charm, you know?
So he's just a character at this point.
Yeah, but he's making serious bank. Like, he doesn't need to dress like a chump. But he
Now,
looks
what
like
year is this?
the 1840s and 1850s.
Great.
So Henry sucked at managing his money. He would go out shopping in Manhattan and buy random shit for himself and others.
Oh. Okay.
He really likes to buy uncut jewels and stash them in his coat pockets for some reason. He'd pull them out while he was talking to someone and be like, look at this.
Show off.
Just, what? Just uncut jewels in with the pocket lint is what you're saying.
Yep.
We've talked about this before several times. That was a savings
Investment.
account. That's a precious material.
I don't think that this was a savings account for him because, like, he carried it in his coat. Like, if you're
trying to
saving it,
unravel
you're
this.
going to put it, like...
Under
This
your
dude would just
mattress.
walk around and be like, wow, jade. Check out my jade.
He was big into show and tell, or
Yeah, he was like...
was he giving it to people for things?
No, he's like, look at them shine.
But you usually set it in like a ring or a watch or a chain to show it off. He's just literally like Dale Gribble, but instead of pocket sand, it's just pocket uncut gems.
Yeah.
Could be to lure
Throwing it
people
in
in.
faces.
So Unice actually would step in and manage his accounts for him, like holding onto his checkbook and being like, you probably
Stop
shouldn't buy
buying
that
diamonds.
many of these uncut gems.
Right.
Hey, I got a quick question. Before you go buying all that precious opal and sapphire, why don't you buy me teeth?
That's a lot of money, dude.
Wow.
I'm not going to buy you veneers.
Why don't you buy me wooden teeth?
So Henry, now that he was out of the boonies, he started to promote abolition again. But he was a bit wish-washy on the subject. While Northern abolitions were saying that slavery was immoral and should be outlawed, Henry kind of stayed in the middle, saying that, yes, it was wrong, but it'll work out. And this was mainly because his congregation consisted of New York Wall Street families.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, while New York outlawed slavery long before the South did, it was part of the Union, much of its economy relied on it. Often, New York lenders had Southern clients that actually used slaves as their collateral when making loans, and most of New York's straight up like trade came from shipping cotton and other goods that were produced in the South.
Oh,
So New York was like a slave state by proxy.
All right, Travis, fine. You want to nitpick?
Well, he's
No,
like,
he's
dude,
cotton
I don't want to talk about the slaves that bad because, like, you know what, my dudes need it. Henry knew his audience and he played to it. Now, when Bleeding Kansas started, we talked about that I think in the Carry a Nation episode. It was
I
kind of
wasn't
like
here for that. I wasn't here for that. No.
Oh, yeah, you were out for that one. So we talked about Bleeding Kansas, which was a pre-Civil War outbreak where there were slave owners and abolitionists like kind of clashing before the Civil War happened. There was some weird laws in Kansas. Beecher raised funds and sent a Connecticut abolitionist militia, and through his church, he bought rifles and Bibles for each soldier.
The Bible will definitely help.
Yeah, they were actually called Beecher Bibles, and people were like, "Oh yeah, you need those. That's important."
Yeah, no, you're
Them's
gonna want your collector's Beecher Bible with
Yeah,
the hologram of his wife's
right.
teeth on it.
Yeah, limited run.
You don't need a canteen.
Yeah,
Take a Bible.
that probably would have been good. I can't
Drink paper.
Henry tried to sway people towards abolition by holding mock slave auctions. He would find the lightest skinned black Christian he could find and then show his congregation how the vile act of selling slaves was.
Why light skinned?
Like,
Yeah, it was-
all right, I need my black friends to come up here so I can prove a point. No, you're too
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, he's got like a
yeah.
Sherwin-Williams like color chart. Like,
Yeah.
no, you sit down.
No, specifically, he was like, I don't want a dark black girl. Like, he would pick them out. He'd be like, all right,
Wow.
Like she's kind of like light skinned. Like let's use her. All right. So Abraham Lincoln Park once attended his Sunday masses while he was campaigning for president, and Beecher made a lasting impression on him. But before we get back to Abraham Lincoln, let's talk about Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Okay. It's here.
Older
We're doing
sister's
it.
book.
Yeah. So in 1852, Henry's sister writes her famous Uncle Tom's Cabin. The story depicts the horrors of slavery, as I mentioned, and the story was originally printed as a serial for a paper. So think of this as like the Game of Thrones or Lost of the time. People were like,
Wow.
oh my God, I need to know what happens on Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Okay.
All right, it took a while for them to get what they were trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would often like write Harriet Beecher Stowe letters like, "Oh, what happens next? Oh, I can't wait to hear."
I
Southerners,
can't believe people that dumb could write.
yeah,
Like, just wait.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's a cereal.
Southerners hated it, obviously. And in one of the most disturbing letters she received, a Southerner had sent her a black ear.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Is that like some kind of plant? Or
No, just like, here you go.
Spice?
I love your thing. Just the black person's ear.
Jesus.
Ooh,
Damn, man.
A little extreme.
that's
Yeah.
to the point.
Do you think there was one of those little pictures she got on her iPhone of the Amazon people leaving it on the front porch?
Yeah, just a bloody FedEx pack
Yeah,
Oh.
like tell us how great of a job we did.
left.
Well,
it
you left
under
a
the
a
ficus.
black person's ear on my porch, so not
boxed
so
up.
good.
Oh.
Yeah, 12 out of 69 stars.
Really down there. You should really
Yeah.
watch out where these packages are coming from.
Does anyone check this shit? What happens with the United States Postal Service?
Can you
What's
smell it?
sending ears?
No,
Yeah,
that's
no dry ice back then, so it must have been ripe.
Yeah.
all right. So
Uh,
she's got this notoriety right now. People
Yeah.
are like, yeah, let me suck that clit.
Yeah, let me suck that Beecher Stowe clit.
Yeah.
So when the stories were compiled into a book,
Wow.
it sold over 1 million copies, being the best sold American book ever. It was
Really?
reprinted to a dozen languages, and Harriet became an international star.
That's
Good
an
on
okay
her.
book.
Yeah. Henry did not read it. He was like, nah. He didn't believe in reading
What a
anything
dick.
that his relatives wrote.
Wow. Mike,
Yeah.
would you read a book if Tom wrote one?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
would.
when you have, like, your friends come out with, let's say, a podcast, and then none of them listen to it. I'm not offended by that.
So offended.
Okay. I'm on the fence.
Eventually, almost after 10 years, people bothered him enough where he read it. After that point, he was like, it had been adapted for a play and had been really popular in Manhattan. They're like, you got to see the play. You got to see the play. He's like, no, I'll read the book. Because, you can't go to
Yeah.
plays because it's sinful.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
It's always those people that are just like, oh, should I see the movie? Book's better.
Yeah.
Just read the book. So that was going on even like mid 1800s.
Yeah. Henry was so popular that he was able to go on a Euro tour, preaching in England and in the continent. And he was kind of pissed that his sister outshined him because a few times he was introduced as Henry Beecher Stowe.
Oh, yeah, that's got to sting. That's got to
mean
sting a little bit.
you married your sister's husband too?
Yeah.
Must be a polygamist.
Yeah. Oh,
That's gotta hurt the confidence.
yeah.
Yeah, right. His temperance ass was really surprised to find that priests in England drank.
Why not? It's England.
One priest offered him ale or wine during a dinner, and Beecher was like, "No, sir, I believe in temperance."
Wow.
And they
Yeah,
were like,
fuck
"What
America.
is that now?"
What kind of ale is temperance?
I don't know
And-
if we got temperance in it. What is that like Smirnoff?
How many X's are on the outside of the temperance bottle?
Well, yeah, the preacher was like, "Yeah, I believe in temperance too. I drink, but I don't get drunk. Never been drunk."
Oh yeah, well me too.
Right?
That's my Me Too movement.
Yeah. So Beecher was like, well, I guess that isn't a sin. So from that point on, he preached temperance, but he would drink wine, often getting really drunk.
Jesus made wine. Come on.
This is blood.
Dude, the automobile wasn't invented yet. The metric for being drunk was way different.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you operated heavy machinery? You mean like my wife?
No, she's not heavy anymore. She hasn't got teeth. I can put it anywhere, really. It's fine.
Yeah, teeth was about 80% of her body weight for some reason.
Oh, she's dying.
No joke there.
So here's an interesting fact for you, smooth brain 420 boys.
Woo.
When his infidelities eventually came out and the whole hypocrisy that Beecher, we're going to get into this whole thing now, his doctor actually prescribed him cannabis indica. So he got dank.
Yeah,
Doctor's
that's the common
orders.
one.
Dr. Dank over there.
He's got his medical card.
There.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking
Wow.
straight
How
up the
2020.
chronolith, dog. Dank
So-
by daylight.
So guess what? Happy New Year! Civil War happens.
Wait, is that how that works?
1961. 1861.
Yeah. Beecher's off like promoting this kind of semi-abolitionist. It kind of falls more into, we haven't roasted Abraham Lincoln, but Abraham Lincoln was like, I don't know if freeing the slaves is great. We just want to preserve the Union.
Just, I can imagine Abraham Lincoln just toiling away in his studies. Like, don't know about the slavery thing, but Union, yeah. We need that happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, eventually he does do the Emancipation Proclamation, and Beecher just mimics exactly what's going on.
Oh, okay.
But at this point,
Plagiarizing.
at this point, he's the most famous man in America. Everyone's looking at him. Harriet's fame had died down because she had written a book about Lord Byron that tanked.
Oh, right. Well, usually when you write a book, that goes over for about a week. That's why, what's her name? You know, the homeless lady who wrote Harry Potter.
J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, that's why she...
No, I don't know her name. We don't know her name, Mike. Shush.
yeah, that's why
was
she had to
I
write
don't know.
8 of them.
Yeah. Well, she had to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, that's why
It's like-
R.L. Stein is the most loved name in America.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, R.L. Stein, let me tell you. R.L. Stein 2020.
I love
What
those
does
fucking
RL
books.
stand for?
Real
Really
life
long.
Stein.
All right, I was going real long Stein.
Ray Lewis.
So, yeah, Harriet's fame dies down. And this is great for Henry because he's a attention whore. He's like, fuck yeah. The war concludes, and Lincoln specifically chose Henry to deliver a speech in South Carolina at Fort Sumter. Now, Fort Sumter is where the war had started. Basically, Lincoln had sent a bunch of resupply ships to the fort. He was like, you guys shouldn't shoot at those ships. And the Southerners shot at the ships.
Oh, just fucking put him in the corner.
Yeah. Henry Beecher goes down to this fort, and this would have gone down in the history books as the triumphant win for the North. Fireworks went off that night. Everyone was like crazy, going off
fanfare.
on this Chesapeake Bay. It was like, hell yeah, Beecher! We won, we won. But that same night, Lincoln took a bullet to the back of the head.
What? I haven't heard of this.
Well, spoiler alert, it was the same guy who did that to JFK.
Oh, shit.
He's a vampire.
Yeah.
A tall guy.
Tall actor boy.
Sexual vampire.
Yeah, he's still alive today.
Think so?
Just on the loose. We can't do anything.
Can't do
Man?
anything. Yeah, no, he's a terrible man. Anyway,
Terrible
continue. Yes, so...
After the war, Henry's religious views got more and more liberal. At one point, he questioned the existence of hell.
Probably not there.
Probably not there. I don't know.
None's been there.
Probably
fake.
just a molten core made of nickel and iron, honestly.
Yeah, I've
like
never
a Ben-
met anyone who was there before.
Yeah, I never met one.
Yeah, it's like the Ben and Jerry's with the core in the middle.
Yeah, what
I
is
love
that?
Is
Fat
there really
sauce.
is there really a core there?
Yes.
It's not a big enough tub for you, Travis?
It's not enough fudge, dude. You need more
Chocolate fudge
fudge.
brownie, man. Best one.
All right.
This was really convenient for a man that was committing loads of sin behind closed doors. And now let's get into the sin. So during the 1860s and into the 1870s, Henry Beecher's infidelities, which had pretty much been kept a secret, started to come to light.
Oh no, kiss and tell.
Yes. So this man of God was getting it on with most of the wives of his congregations in Brooklyn in the slimiest way possible.
Doggy style.
Oh, dude, way more than doggy, dude. He's doing like the Tulip Sun.
I don't know that one.
I don't know. I feel like an amateur right now.
I don't want to ask him to explain it,
That's when you roll.
but I don't know. No.
That's when you roll tulips in your foreskin. And then you bust, and the tulips go into the cervix.
Where's
the flower? And the flower just shoots out of her belly.
Well, Cody and Mike, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's entirely made up.
I feel like
Nah,
I
that's
just
true.
gained an extra chromosome.
Wow.
All right, well, let's get into these infidelities right now. So the first was the Moseses. Yeah. No, the Beaches. Not Beechers. Sorry. The first was the Beaches. Spelled like the beach.
Great.
Okay, that's fine.
So it was
You're saying Beecher beached upon the beaches?
yeah, I was gonna say that's like if you had someone named Fucker and Fucky.
Yeah, so the beach couple, Moses and Chloe, Henry secretly was banging Chloe all the time. In her house, he would go into the back room of this church that he had, and Moses was suspicious, but he was like, dude, this is a man of God. He's not banging my wife.
Of course not. Who would do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Moses gets really sick with typhoid fever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
So while Moses is on his deathbed, Henry and Chloe are banging like fucking chimpanzee rabbits, son.
Yeah, in the same bed.
Damn.
Yeah. And Henry's splashing his holy water all up in that pussy.
All right, we get it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just painting a picture, man. I'm
I know,
taking a book out of you.
There's a reason I do that,
Fucking
and you
water
don't.
color.
So anyway, Chloe gets pregnant. And people do the math, and they're like, wait, this is when Moses has typhoid. Like, can't
it's
get
immaculate.
pregnant.
It's immaculate
Yeah.
conception. It's Jesus 2.0.
Well, the reason I married Moses is because he's really hot. But the one thing that really turns me on is typhus. So when he got typhus,
I mean, yeah.
I couldn't get a minute away from riding that typhoid man. I was like a surf ninja. I was like Rob Snyder in a movie about ninjas, but also he was having sex with me.
It's a good movie.
So Chloe has a child and names her Violet.
Aw.
Now, this is notable because Henry used to constantly bring violets over to the beach house.
Oh.
Yeah. So as Violet grew up, Chloe spent most of her time around the Beechers.
Weird.
Not with her husband Moses or her first daughter. So Eunice, who's a complete dumbass, is like, yeah, whatever, they're just friends. And
This poor woman.
And everyone in Brooklyn hates me because I got no teeth, but Chloe's real nice to me.
Chloe's got teeth.
Yeah, but Eunice, like, leave her alone.
Yeah,
nice.
right? So things got really weird because as photography developed in the late 1800s, there's a picture of Henry and Violet, and they looked almost identical. You know when a dude has like a girl and it looks exactly like the dude? You're like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that shit
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Also, Violet called Henry Grandpa.
Oh.
Why? That's weird. No.
That is weird, right? That's weird. Eventually, Moses just accepted that he had been straight cucked by a preacher,
Yeah.
and he moved away with his daughter, and Chloe just kind of lived with the family as a friend.
That's a severe cucking there.
Yeah.
That's sad, though.
15-yard penalty.
So wait, Moses survived his typhoid? Typhus? That's
He
even
survived.
worse.
Yeah,
That's
but
worse.
like
Just
during
kill
the
me.
like
I'm a dirty mid 1800s guy. Just let me go.
Put me out with the trash.
so Beecher, over the course of his preaching career, started writing editorials for Christian papers owned by his financier, Henry Bowen, the guy who brought him to Brooklyn.
Right.
He would sometimes write these editorials. A lot of the times he would use a ghostwriter, and this ghostwriter was a man named Theodore Tilden.
Okay.
It's fine.
So-
I'd buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Henry actually married Theodore and his wife Elizabeth at his church in Brooklyn. So way younger than Henry. He was the preacher that was like, you guys could kiss now. You guys could put your tips inside each other.
Hey, if you guys want to bang in this room next door to mine, don't mind this little hole here.
Yeah.
So as time went by, Theo stopped ghostwriting for Beecher. He became an extreme abolitionist, but he still attended Beecher's church. Beecher was constantly hanging around Elizabeth, flirting with her about the Bible. Because everyone knew that Beecher was a flirter, right? He just liked to flirt.
Flirting about the Bible.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this guy has no game or the smoothest game I've ever seen, because I can't make anything happen with the Bible.
Yeah, I've never done anything. I actually
It's-
tried the rib move once. Hey, I heard that ladies got one more ribs than men.
Is that true?
Well, I found out that I got an extra rib
Oh.
between my legs. I was hoping you could take it away from me.
Yeah, but that makes it seem like your penis has like a 90-degree curve to it.
Oh, I never said I didn't have one of those.
Right. Depending on the direction of that could be horrible or stimulating.
Yeah, it's like, look, I don't need you to just yank it off. I need you to caress it away, probably over several hundred sessions of it.
Would you like to go to the movies? I hear there's a popcorn gremlin that loves to spit on you.
What? was that out of left field for me as everyone else?
No, actually, that made
Nah,
sense
dude.
because
I
I've been
get it,
there.
yeah.
I've used the popcorn gremlin several times.
To successful effect?
Yeah, but I used to use the raisinette gremlin.
Ah.
Oh, you
the
got one of
estranged
those
cousin.
thin, long boys.
Well, I would get the
It's
deluxe
like a
size
tapeworm.
boxes.
It's like
I
a
would get-
tapeworm, Tom. Yeah,
I-
you can admit it on the show. It's like a tapeworm.
All right, well, maybe I am flexible.
This is horrific.
So Beecher, like I said, constantly hanging out, flirting about the Bible, and they gained a genuine trust about each other. So here's Beecher's slimy tactics, right? How he got into these ladies' pants, right? And he would do this constantly throughout his career. He would cajole them into fucking him by saying there's nothing vulgar about fucking, dude. Guess what?
Is my
bro?
cajoling effective on you?
thought
How
it was
moist
sin.
are you?
Yeah, but now if you're cajoling it,
Oh, okay. No.
Cajoled it, dude.
That's the
Controlling
critical
is
aspect.
Yeah,
Can't
fucking
miss the
cajoling.
cajoling
It's so-
step.
that's such a good word. I love cajoling.
I haven't heard that word in a fortnight.
It's a great word, dude. Cajole people.
That's one of the first.
What does it mean?
It means to convince someone to
okay.
to persuade.
Eggingly convince.
Yeah, he
So you
cajoled.
cajoled me.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's to make the brain more smooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you're just
sandpapering.
sanding them down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right. So he would say that this is a way for the both of us to get closer to God. Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna try this out.
All right.
Also, all the time, Beecher would say, "I never did this with anyone else. Never done it with anyone else besides my wife."
Oh, you're the
like, and
first.
this is
Yeah,
weird.
okay.
Like this
You're
is
the
weird. Like
first
I'm making
second.
like this is a sin, but it feels so right, baby. You know what I mean?
Smooth talker.
Well, you got me cajoled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rigid cajoled right now.
So, and he would constantly tell Elizabeth that she was spotless and chaste, reminding her that she needed to be cautious, for the lower minds will persecute them. The lower minds will persecute them if their secret was revealed. He called this nest hiding.
This is grotesque. It's weird. It's just like it's how predators think when they're trying to nail a broad.
Hey, you should come over sometime. I got this idea. Look, you're pretty hot.
Uh huh.
but that has nothing to do with the idea. You got real nice lips.
Thank you.
That's not what I was getting at.
Oh.
You should. My wife is out.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Perhaps I'm extremely horny, but
Why do you
let me
have a
get to the
sausage
point,
pizza with a
because that's
hole in
not
the middle?
it. You should have sex with my godly body, and then I'll get
But not-
to what I was talking about.
Don't tell anyone about
Is this
it.
Harvey Weinstein? Hello?
What's
You
happening?
cajoled me.
Yeah,
You cajoled me.
maybe I got a plan. Maybe I got a plan from God, and his
Yeah.
God, and this God, he's a horny prick.
Yeah, so him and Elizabeth were caught a few times. A few people entered the room while Beecher was in mid pumping, and he was all
Lock the
red
door.
and sweaty, and Elizabeth was pulling up her dress.
Trying to get the devil out of her.
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't worry, we're just practicing Bibles.
We're doing jumping jacks.
Just practicing Bibles is all.
He was also caught finger blasting her in the back of the church during a mass.
Damn. Couldn't even
Like
wait.
they were like, yeah, go sing, and he's like, "Bah, yeah, fuck. Blah."
And a choir boy
Wow.
came back and was just like,
Eventually, Beecher's financier, Henry Bowen, finds out about the infidelities. And then Elizabeth's husband, Theo. Now, obviously, Theo was pissed that Elizabeth, who eventually confessed to him that she was having sex with Beecher. And she said this, in quotes, that it was not out of low or vulgar thoughts that either of us had this act,
Wow.
but always from pure affection and high religious love.
That bitch sounds like she got cajoled.
Excuses.
Yeah, but doesn't that sting more? It's not. It's not like, yeah, we just wanted to fuck. It was like, dude,
Yeah,
I
we
love
weren't-
this
yeah.
guy on a religious level, so we need to
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, you're right. We weren't animal fucking. We were intimate fucking, and you're the cock just being like, that's not better.
hey, I'm doing this to save your soul.
And your hole.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth and Theodore were constantly fighting, and Theodore at the time was involved in the women's temperance movement led by Victoria Woodhull and also none other than Susan B. Anthony. You know her
Whoa.
from the dollar coin.
Yeah.
Love those things.
So
The Indian woman?
she didn't like liquor either?
I don't know what her stance on temperance was, but
Oh,
she
I
was
thought you said temperance. Sorry, I'm a idiot.
Did I say Oh, sorry, women's suffrage, not temperance. I did say
Oh, okay.
women's.
Yeah, no, I mean that
temperance.
makes sense with the women's suffrage thing, but you know how
Women's
annoyed if
suffrage.
she was like if she was a temperance practicer, how annoyed would she be if she found out that the dollars that they had with her face on it were mostly being exchanged for booze?
Yeah,
the little shot
right?
bottles.
Yeah.
So during one night at a convention, Elizabeth and Theo got in a screaming match, and Elizabeth ran into Susan B. Anthony's room, locking the door, while Theo was banging on the door, calling her a whore. And Elizabeth confessed the affair to Susan B. Anthony. So this is another way that we know this actually happened.
Wow.
But the thing is that Beecher was a cash cow for both Bowen and Theodore Tilden. His fame had brought them so much money and had advanced the role of women's suffrage and also abolition so far that I don't know if they were willing to give it up.
They would look the other way.
Yeah.
While their wives were being plowed.
Yep. So while where was it?
Huh.
So to cover it up, because they had to come up with a cover up, right? Like all these guys met in a room: Theo, Beecher, Bowen, Elizabeth, and a few other people.
And,
And
there's
they
a
were
black
like,
patent leather couch against
Yeah.
the door.
and Beecher was like, "Sorry, bang your wife."
Did he go
But
down
I'm
the line one by
famous.
one? Holy shit.
And they would pay Beecher and these men paid out $30,000 worth of hush money to all the women that Beecher had boned.
Damn.
Going
That's not
back
bad.
all the way to Indiana. Going back all the way to Indiana. All these people
right.
I was talking about,
Wow.
this never came to light until these guys like tried to cover it up.
Oh. All right, yeah.
So there's
Sometimes you
conspiracy
just
here.
pretend it never happened, and it works better that way.
Yeah.
Cuckold conspiracy.
So Elizabeth, who was part of these meetings and the cover-up, was like, what the fuck? Because if you remember, Beecher always told his women that this was something special, and it was one thing that, like, this was the only time I did this thing. Oh my God, you're so special. This is God's penis that's under you.
He played all of them.
Yeah, like every other guy ever.
Right. In this cover-up, there was also a rape charge that popped up.
Hey.
Edna Dean Proctor, which was one of the Bible study chicks out of Cincinnati. And here's the thing. Beecher didn't... She was also underage, by the way. Beecher didn't deny the fact that he fucked her. He said it was consensual.
So that Bill Cosby impression earlier was really history predicting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I mentioned the really important name back there. Victoria Woodhull. I don't know if you guys know who she is.
No.
Negative.
No idea.
So Victoria was a very important part of the women's suffrage, that Thea was involved in. And Victoria promoted free love back in the 1870s. That's right, boomers, you're not original.
Oh, no.
All right, fair enough.
So by free love, that meant freedom to marry, divorce, and bear children, regardless of without social restrictions and government interference. Really
Everyone
cool,
fuck.
right?
Yeah.
Also, kind of hypocritical was because Beecher was running around saying that what Victoria was doing was immoral.
Okay. Yeah. I
So
can see that.
Victoria actually became the first woman to run for president in 1872.
Oh, wow.
Her running mate was Frederick Douglass.
Whoa.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's progressive.
Yeah.
What do they want to do, though? What were they trying to get at?
Free love, dog. Free slaves, free
Who
love.
were they running against?
I don't remember. I think it was Ulysses S. Grant, actually.
Yeah, well, Ulysses S. Grant, he was a tough ticket because he saved the, all of black people from slavery.
He's also a drunk.
Yeah, who cares, though?
Hey. Is he dead? Can we roast
I wish
him?
Trump would have a drink or two. Relax, buddy. You've
Yeah.
got enough.
So anyway, she wanted Beecher to get on her team, and he refused because he was like, you can't have love outside of marriage, even though he's railing everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still.
So Victoria, she had the dirt about Beecher due to the connection with Theodore Tilden, who after the whole infidelity came out, Theo started banging Victoria, and Victoria ends up exposing Beecher's hypocrisy to everyone, being like, look at these dudes that oppose free love, but then like in private, Beecher's fucking your entire congregation.
I mean,
Sneaky.
not good. It's not good.
So things broke down and between Beecher, Tilden, and Bowen, and Tilden actually brought Beecher to court over the affair with his wife. The court case in 1875 was a whole big thing, a media sensation, probably one of the biggest cases in the 19th century. Obviously, Beecher had the best lawyers and came out fairly unscathed.
Okay.
But here's the thing is, like, over the entire ordeal of him doing this cover-up and, like, the court case, Henry got so depressed that he would often cry out and say, I'm going to commit suicide.
Oh,
Well, God doesn't like people who commit suicide, so he shouldn't do
No.
that.
He's
Yeah.
stuck in limbo.
Yeah. Then you're just there with Robin Williams. No, his wife in that movie. Oh no, but Robin Williams did in real life.
Yeah.
I
In
forgot.
real life, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a
Yeah.
very good joke, or did you just?
No, that was a
Just
genuine
stumble
accident.
through
I was
that.
thinking that movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Look at you.
That's very sad, actually. That bothered me.
And the funny thing is that Eunice Beecher blindly, even ignorantly, stood behind her husband, calling all the claims of infidelity slander.
Wow.
You think my husband gonna have sex with that woman? That woman. First of all, my husband has experienced what it's like to get your dick sucked by these teeth. Nothing gumming at all, just gumming around, gumming.
Straight gumming.
You see, this woman's got a nice pair of incisors that cannot compete with this. Gumming.
Wow.
She would never commit no adulterous acts upon my teeth. Oh, get him on. Bring him on, brother, home.
It's a good
I'm
argument.
suddenly in the mood for a gum job.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for Hooters, wings.
Oh, me too.
Oh, man. You nice. That's really when it changed. Wow.
Great
Wow.
job,
How do you
Eunice.
smile like that and continue to give me fellatio?
All right, ask me the question.
Mike, you haven't said much.
How's this boy die?
I'm just drinking a little bit of beer. All right. This idiot head hypocrite. Right. He bounces back after the court case. He also gains this terrible habit of backing corrupt presidents like Ulysses S. Grant and Grover Cleveland. Everyone's like, those campaigns were going to shit. And he's like, yeah, they're great. I love them. Right?
All
right.
He tours Europe once again. This time he brings Eunice, and then he laments the fact that he wishes he never married her.
Oh my god.
Quoting his rival Victoria Woodhull, "Marriage is a prison where love dies."
I can see that.
Yo, how fucking emo is that?
Wow.
Don't get married, kids.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, hey, knock it off.
Yeah.
just fuck
Yeah,
everyone. Don't get married. Just fuck everyone
yeah.
while their husband is in the next room.
Yeah.
And,
Consent's important. Don't use God as consent.
Then you don't have to hang
that
out
guy,
later.
That guy can't give consent for anything.
So in March of 1886, Beecher suffers a stroke.
Oh no.
He's nearly unresponsive in bed for a few days. The doctor and Eunice are discussing the fact, like, oh, dude, is he gonna make it out? And the doctor's like, no, there's no hope. So Eunice is like, can you understand us, stupid man?
Can you understand us? Can you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
My precious husband.
And Henry clasps and unclasps his right hand a bunch of times.
Oh.
And then says, "You were saying I could not recover," and smiles. Those were his last words as he slipped into a coma and died a few days later.
Ooh, haunting.
Damn.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Man.
So his funeral was a massive thing in New York City. Businesses closed for a day. Wall Street,
Oh, wow.
City Hall, they all draped black bunting off of their buildings. Eunice didn't permit a few of his siblings from attending the private funeral because they had come out for his, like, being a dickbag in the whole trial thing.
Ooh, catty.
And he was buried at Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, and his tombstone is engraved with a quote from Corinthians: "He thinketh no evil."
Oh,
well,
There you
can't.
go.
Yeah, gravestones don't lie.
yeah.
That's how you
Especially
really pull it
hypocritical
together.
ones.
So you got a Hank Beecher, who did nothing wrong, and for some
Never.
reason we're talking about him.
You just need a zinger on the tombstone.
Yeah,
Zinger, Corinthians.
I don't know. That's an interesting guy. I didn't know he was the most. I didn't know anything about him.
Just a hypocrite up and down. I like it.
Yeah, well, I think this dude probably would have been in your history books for the Civil War if the fact that Lincoln didn't get shot in the back of the head the same day he delivered the speech.
All right.
Interesting.
And he started megachurches. So
Yeah.
you're welcome, Joel.
He's an asshole.
Shit.
Look at that.
All right.
So that's, you know, his sister, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Tom's in the book.
The sister or
Check
cousin?
him out.
I play a character in the book. Okay.
Sister.
I just play a character. It's not really me. All right. Anyway, thanks a lot, Travis. Excellent
Excellent.
Yeah,
research.
thanks, Travis.
All right, let's
Thank you,
well,
dogs.
this is a long episode, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so this is Roast Mortem. If you made it this far, find us on social media. Find us on other things. Patreon.com/RoastMortemCast. It's a place where you
Yeah.
can give us your money.
Woo. Yeah, so I can learn about Jesus some more and how to get it in using
Yeah, no,
Jesus' ways. Jesus' ways. Jesus wept. Guess what, Jesus? Tonight I pray for a larger penis. The end.
Hey, man, we all got wishes.
mean,
so that's
no one's
that.
gonna stop you.
It's a good wish.
Personal social medias don't care except for Mike's
I'm off the
Smooth Brain.
grid.
No, you're on Smooth
420.
Brain. Tell us about it.
Smooth Brain 420.
Smooth Brain 420. CBD 7-Eleven taquito, slightly undercooked but bearable.
Yep.
That's the best
Good
name.
account. Good account.
I've had a slightly undercooked taquito, and it is bearable. Let me tell you.
Damn.
They're not so good when they're overcooked and they're like rock hard. And you're like,
Yeah.
You can get
when
away
they're
with
crusty?
it a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get away with a rare taquito, though.
Yeah. I always respect when they like let you get a test bite and they're like, is it
Wait,
Wait,
good?
what?
you
you
asked
do
for
test
test
I got
bites
test
at
bites.
7-Eleven?
Yeah.
You're the worst.
Yo, let me
homeless
get a
person.
test bite,
They're like,
dude.
this one's like pretty
What the
fucking
fuck?
burnt. Do you want to eat this one? And I like take a bite out of it, and like, oh, it's pretty foul. And they're like, all right, you can get like, don't even worry about it. Like, no, they're not good.
All right.
You
well,
are a guinea pig at 7-Elevens. Is that what I'm hearing?
I guess so. Yeah.
You know what the clerks are thinking back there? They're just like, hey, man, I bet you $5 you can't get that kid kick flipping in our parking lot to eat this, like, rabies-riddled taquito.
Hey.
All right.
And you
I
get
think
that guy $5.
They're,
You
they're
go to-
good at this crunchy.
You can go to patreon.com/RothBurnhamCast, or you can go to the GoFundMe that we're going to start from Mike.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
his
Taquitos?
taquito bowels.
yeah, when his bowels started rotting.
Yeah. you guys give
Colitis.
me new bowels.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep your eyes peeled for Mike's
For that.
bowel erosion therapy.
Yeah.
Later,
Wow.
dogs. Bye, yo.
Danky.
Later.
Danky.
Dankard.
Thank you, Shane.
I got pee out of it.
Keep that in.
Probably would have jumped
Just
towards
making
yes.
sure you got the answer right
You know-
again.
You know what I hate when you're in a urinal and someone goes like next to you and pees and there's like mad open spots.
breaking
Yeah.
breaking the unsung rule. That's a sin against God.
Yeah.
That is a sin.
And
I get,
Mike's
I
penis.
get uncomfortable and I like can't pee and I like think about it too much and then I end up like don't pee and the guy just walks away and then I'm like good to go.
You got to clamp it and then move to the urinal away from him.
No,
No,
because then he knows
but then
you're
he
a
knows
pussy.
I'm freaking out about it, so I just
Can
play
we
it
just-
cool.
But you're a pussy with a full bladder. No one's going to mess with anyone
not
that has a
even
full
like- I'm-
bladder and his dick in his hands.
I want to pee so bad, but it just doesn't come out. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Can
man.
we just make a rule if someone gets up next to you in like an open urinal and there's like there's all the other urinals, you could just pee on their shoes.
No.
Yeah.
no, I'm down with that.
Yeah,
rule.
right? Like that's cool. Get
Cody
away
says
from me,
no
dude.
because the bar we used to go to all the time in Huntington. There was 3 urinals and he always chose the middle one when he went by himself, as opposed to creating distance.
I was gonna go for
Because the
distance.
other urinal, my ass would get clipped by the door when someone walked
Ooh.
in, or if I went on the far right urinal, there's 3
Yeah,
urinals.
yeah. Cody's
Whoever's
peeping
washing
Tom.
their hands can see my penis in the fucking mirror.
Cody, you sound like a real lineman right now.
Yeah.
So, all right.
London Lyman.